Hello, Del Shakes fam. My name is Cassie Alexander. This is Emily Schuman.
Hi, nice to meet everyone.
We are live. Woo-hoo! We are here to encourage you to support Del Shakes via Do More 24 Delaware. For the next 24 hours, all gifts made via the scrolling link at the bottom of this video will support Del Shakes as we fulfill our mission of sharing stories that connect people from all walks of life. And there are some really cool incentives, like a $400,000 stretch pool from the Delaware Division of the Arts, which means that your gift will be increased and will have an even greater impact here at Delaware Shakespeare. Now, we're a theater company. We are all about sharing stories. So I asked Emily to join me this evening to share a drink and to share a story. So Emily, tell me about your favorite moment of performing for Delawareans with Del Shakes.
Well, cheers. Happy
Cheers.
cocktail hour. So I've been a part of the Del Shakes community tour for 2 productions now, and I have had many positive experiences and interactions with audience members. I think it's honestly one of the best parts about the community tour because of the way that each performance is set up. You have the audience seated in the round, so you really get to interact with audience members in such like an intimate and personal way. But one moment in particular that always stands out to me whenever I think about the community tour is from our tour of Merchant of Venice back in 2018. And the community tour always happens around the fall. And following one of our performances, we learned that there sadly was a mass shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. And it was one of those moments where after the performance, the whole cast, we felt like there was nothing was going to change, because here we were touring Merchant of Venice, this show about anti-Semitism that was written in the 1500s. And we're engaging audiences in conversations about racism and xenophobia. And then to learn that the same atrocities are still happening today in our current time, it hit our cast really hard. But then a week later, we had the opportunity to perform at the Siegel Jewish Community Center in Wilmington. And we were concluding each performance of Merchant of Venice by singing the Jewish prayer song, Avinu Malkeinu. It's usually sung during Rosh Hashanah, and it's like a song of forgiveness and self-reflection in the new year. And when I'm thinking about highlights with audience members during the community tour, I'm remembering about how powerful it was to be able to sing Avinu Malkeinu at the end of our performance at the JCC, because so many audience members started to sing along with us, and you could really feel like all of the solidarity in the room. And it felt like we were all sharing the grief of what we all knew had happened one week before. So that particular audience interaction moment was really, really special to me. And you could tell that they were really happy that we were there to perform.
Oh, wow. That is just so powerful. Oh, that was a great production too. I loved that show. Now, Emily, your musical ability, you wear many creative hats. We should say that. You wear all of the creative hats, but you are so musical. You play instruments and you sing and you compose music. And I'm always in awe of that. And I wondered if you might tell us a little bit about how music becomes a vehicle for telling a story. You've done that with Del Shakes now as well.
I have. It was what sort of introduced me to Delaware Shakespeare was doing my first community tour of Merchant of Venice. I collaborated with Liz Filios on the music, and then I got brought back to do the music for Romeo and Juliet. And what's so great about the music in the community tour in particular is that Delaware Shakespeare takes our music inspiration and our inspiration for really performing the community tour from 10,000 Things, which is a theater company out in Minneapolis. And basically the way that 10,000 Things does it and the way that Del Shakes has adopted it is that the community tour has very little set. There's like a few, we've got some key props. There's no lights, no scenery. And so sound and music really becomes the like guiding factor in helping the audience understand the story. So it can, music notes and melodies and sound effects can really help highlight characters' entrances and exits. They help, we create certain theme songs for specific characters, because also there's very few cast members. So many cast members are playing multiple roles. So in order to remember, like which character is entering, it's helpful to have a theme song. It also helps to underscore the emotions of a scene and sort of help direct audiences' minds where to go and how to think, not how to think, but sort of guide them through the story.
Yeah.
And then there's all the fun parts that I find as a musician in like the songs that Shakespeare writes in his shows. Like, Portia has her song that she sings to Bassanio while he's like trying to pick a casket out, and she's hoping he picks her. He hopes he picks the right casket. So that was really fun to be able to like write the music for that piece of music that Shakespeare wrote into the show, or to be able to write the dance theme song during the party in Romeo and Juliet. Like those parts that are written into the show, that's just like the cherry on top of writing music for a community tour.
The scene asks for that music.
Say that again?
The scene asks for that music, and then you're like, just picking up that offering that Shakespeare made you.
And each show is going to have a different song. Like no matter what show and production you do, that song is always going to be different depending on who's writing the music.
Oh, that's cool. That's really, really magical. Well, Emily, thank you for sharing these stories. Del Shakes fans, thank you so much for tuning in. And we will be back to share more stories with you before Do More 24 is over. But don't forget to visit the link at the bottom of your screen and make a gift to Del Shakes. It will make a big impact. We're going to share stories that connect us, and that is what counts. Cheers.
Cheers, Kathy.